I'm Drew Vincent. Welcome to Kickin', the show that takes you around North America, cities and towns, big and small. Every town has a story, and I'm hoping every town has a goalpost, because I'm gonna kick 50 field goals in 50 states.
We are going to travel this great land, cities and towns, big and small. We are going to find exceptional people that you don't know, sometimes in towns and places you've never heard of. Bring to light and attend events that you may have never known existed. Through this discovery, we will motivate you, captivate you, and inspire you. There is a plethora of hidden treasures just waiting to be uncovered, an endless array of stories waiting to be told, and of course, a whole landscape of football fields across North America just primed for kicking it.
I'm Drew Vincent. Come on along for the ride, because we are kicking it. Hi, I'm Drew Vincent. Welcome to Kickin' It. Today we find ourselves in Juneau, Alaska, the capital city of our 49th and largest state. We're going to show you around this unique and amazing capital city located in the southeast panhandle of the last frontier. Juneau is one of only 2 U.S. state capitals not accessible by road. You can arrive here by air, you can arrive here by water via the Lynn Canal, and there's a third way to arrive in Juneau, of course, to be born here via the birth canal. That's fine.
I have worked in the hospitality industry for over 30 years, from Illinois to all 4 corner states, and from California to Alaska.
This is my good friend Steve Suing. He and I met in Skagway, just north of us, about 100 miles, about 15 years ago, and he is now living here in Juneau. What is the best thing about Juneau that you love?
You don't have time for the list.
Okay, what about a 30-second little
Yeah.
little blast?
I love coming to the docks and seeing all these visitors here. You know, today we've got like 4 cruise ships. We probably have, 7,000 to 8,000 people in town. And, I've lived in Southeast for 18 years. And my family comes to the docks frequently. And for just the simple fact that it's a reminder of how special this place is. To see the looks on people's faces. Today, it's rainy, it's gray, but they're rolling off of these cruise ships, or they're cruising on the docks as independent travelers, and they're looking up at Mount Juneau, and they're still taking photos, and they're nudging their partner, they're nudging their kids, and like, oh my gosh, we just arrived in this amazing place. We're in Alaska, we're in the capital, and that vibe that happens 5 months out of the year, it actually happens 12 months out of the year, but it's the spirit of Alaska that drew me here in the first place, of adventure, opportunity, and just kind of the wildness of it.
Here is an actual functioning town. It's a government town, it's a college town, it's a family town.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of history. There's a lot to do here, and that's why you chose to make your life here. Where else should we go?
I was tending bar in Tempe, Arizona in May of 1990. Guy comes in, I serve him a drink, and on the bar was a brochure that said summer employment in Alaska. I quit my job, I loaded up my Subaru Brat and drove 3,400 miles and tended bar in Skagway, Alaska. And eventually I came full circle, moved to Alaska in 2004 to run a bed and breakfast, and was then recruited into the tour industry.
Let's go check out the kelp salsa.
What's the name of the company?
Their company is Barnacle Foods. They make kelp salsas and kelp pickles, locally harvested and made in small batches here in Juneau, Alaska. Kelp is like seaweed and it is very abundant in southeast Alaska. They go out and harvest in small boats without propellers, so they're not damaging it. They harvest it by hand. They bring it home and then they make all this stuff in a commercial kitchen in small batches. And the salsas are 35 to 40% kelp, and the pickles are just slivers of kelp that have been pickled.
What's your favorite?
I like them all. I know that's the right answer, but it's true. I think it depends on what you're serving them with. The original is kind of the gateway kelp salsa.
Okay.
I think you owe it to the original to try that first.
Okay, let's do that.
My 9-year-old, who likes to be kind of the tough guy, he's like really into the fire because it's got a little bite to it, but not too much bite.
It's like
That's
an
fantastic.
afterheat.
And this one, again,
Might as well work your way down.
Tomatillo.
Tomatillo is my favorite.
That's my favorite on breakfast. It's really good.
Oh,
Eggs,
that's it.
potatoes.
Foodgasm. Can you say that on camera? Oh, that is incredible.
You've made up your mind already? You haven't had all three.
Well, I'm getting there. Wow.
You might feel that again.
Thank you for that.
So Steve, why is the state capital in Juneau? People always seem to ask that all the time. Why have it here? There's no access by road. Why would you have the state capital here? And what are the advantages of having it here? And why do people want to move it to Anchorage?
I think so. Originally, this building behind us, that's now the Alaska State Capitol, was opened in 1931. And it was the territorial federal building. And that's what it was built for. Construction started in 1929, finished in 1931. When it opened its doors in 1931, it was the territory, because Alaska didn't become a state until 1959, territory federal building. And at the time, it had been kind of all the resources for the federal government had been in Sitka. And because of the mining operations that were happening in Juneau, a lot of people got attracted to Juneau. And so Juneau became not only a destination, but a bit of a pass-through place. So if you think about that time, a lot of the population really wasn't into the interior of Alaska, what we now know as South Central Alaska. And most of the action, population-wise, was happening here southeast. We had big trees, we had salmon, and we had gold. There was 2 gold mines operating here in Juneau. So that, why would you go all the way to the interior? You know, Juneau still was kind of the epicenter of sorts. Of course, you know, oil hadn't been discovered yet up in South Central, up into the northern parts of Alaska. So it just kind of made sense. We've got this federal building here. You're now a state. You have to have a state capitol building. We're going to give you what was a territorial federal building and make it your capital.
Beautiful. I can't believe it's raining in Juneau. Does this happen very often?
Liquid sunshine. This is the authentic experience. Okay. You don't come to, I mean, you would be upset if you came to a rainforest and it wasn't raining.
Okay. I'm not upset.
Favorite beer of all time.
Small quarter.
Well, it's hard to believe that we are drinking beer again in Alaska. This is Andy, our spokesman here for Alaskan Brewing Company. Now, Andy, this is my favorite beer of all time.
Oh, that's great to hear. Thanks.
And I live in Carmel, California in the wintertime. And many years ago, in the Safeway, I did a whiplash when I saw Alaskan beer at the Safeway in Carmel, California.
I think we've been there since 2007, I want to say, maybe even earlier. We've been in California for quite a while.
And how many states currently?
19. We're moving into Iowa just this month. So we're going to be in 19 states.
Now, what's your favorite new thing that you guys are working on right now for beer-wise? I know there's so many.
Well, yeah, there's a ton. One thing that's really fun is we're doing a Brewer's Choice series of beers that goes into our sampler pack. And those are small batch beers, and they're places where our brewers can really experiment with different fun beers.
What are some of your challenges for producing a product here in the location of Juneau with no road access?
Yeah, so that's the thing. Everything's got to be shipped in and out. So we're behind the 8 ball whenever we get to a market that's outside of Juneau, because we have to barge every single thing in except for the water, and barge every single thing out, including the water. You know, so that's the main challenge. And what we've had to do is be as efficient as possible, and that's caused us to kind of go through a lot of innovation. So we've looked for places all along our brewing process since we've been in business to innovate, to be that kind of innovative leader that thinks of things in a different way because we have these unique problems. And I mean, one example of that is what to do with byproducts of brewing. So one of the main byproducts of brewing is the grain that's left over once you've brewed a beer. So now, since 2013, we're the only brewery in the world that takes all of its spent grain, puts it into a 100% fuel-fired spent grain boiler. So the only fuel used is spent grain in the boiler. It creates the steam that runs our brew deck, that makes the beer, that makes the spent grain, that feeds into the furnace, that makes the steam, that runs the brew deck. So that's called beer-powered beer.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
I think in the dictionary, under the word sustainable, would be
Yeah,
what you just said.
and it's true. I mean, we look for areas to be sustainable because not only because it's responsible, but because it's a business advantage for us to be sustainable.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Love
thank
beer.
you.
Keep going.
Cheers.
Congratulations on
All
your
right.
success.
Hey, good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck. I don't know. It's wet, slippery. It's not good conditions for field goal. We'll see.
It's all good.
Okay. All right. I'm behind you. 100%.
We can do other takes if
These
need
will
be.
these will help.
Thank you
These
very
help. Yeah,
much.
you won't have to stretch now.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Very good.
Well, after a great day here in Juneau, it's time to get down to business. We are at Thunder Mountain High School here in Juneau, home of the Falcons. It's time for some kicking it.
We are going to travel this great land. Cities and towns, big and small, we are going to find exceptional people that you don't know. Sometimes in towns and places you've never heard of. Bring to light and attend events that you may have never known existed. Through this discovery, we will motivate you, captivate you, and inspire you. There is a plethora of hidden treasures just waiting to be uncovered. An endless array of stories waiting to be told. And of course, a whole landscape of football fields across North America just primed for kicking it.
I'm Drew Vincent. Come on along for the ride because we are kicking it.